Welcome to the Forex Trendy members area. And I've gotten some emails from a few people that have asked about day trading Forex Trendy. I show a lot of daily charts and weekly charts and 4-hour charts simply because that's how I trade price patterns. I trade longer term. Generally, the bigger the pattern is, the bigger the break is, so the longer it lasts. It's an old saying, it's the bigger the brick or the bigger the base. So let's take a look, and let's look at hourly charts. Let me just flip over here. So we have a pound US break here, 139.77 on the 19th. This is the setup. And again, you can see the trend is up here. This is telling us we're only looking for long trades. So if this would have broken to the downside, you would not have gotten involved in this trade. Now, keep in mind, you can get alerts, so you don't have to be monitoring these 24 hours a day. You can get an alert. And you could also, if you are trading with your chart, your broker charts, set an alert when price gets close to these break areas as well. Obviously, if you're looking for upside, we want to see what happens when price breaches this trend line. So you can actually do that as well. So we had a break of 139.77, and down here are your targets, and we did get as high as 40.88. So we have 40.61, 41.02. So let's go out here. Now we're going to leave 20 pips on the table here, but just to keep things as objective as possible, we're going to look and use these targets to see how far price ran. So for this particular trade, at this entry and at this exit, so by going with these price targets here, we can add a little bit of, spread variations. Maybe you didn't get in on the, the exact pip. So we have 20 pips of leeway here. So this is 84 pips of price movement that you could have been involved in on a day trade. That's not too bad. Look at the pound yen. Again, upside, we have a flag, obviously a bull flag. The breakout's over here. The breakout's at 147.75. Again, here's our targets. And we did go as high as 149.68, so we don't get up here. We don't get this one, but we get this one. Now we're going to leave 30-odd pips on the table here as well. And you can see when it got up this high, it crashed down. So this is actually a great trade exit. And on this particular trade, we're looking at about 162 pips to the upside for anyone that got involved in that trade. Let's take a look here at the Swissy yen. And there we go. Again, a flag. This happened back on the 14th, so last week. Downtrend. We don't want to take breaks to the upside, obviously. Break is at 112.62, which is here, in this area here. And we went down as far as 110.83. So we don't quite get this one. So we're going to get this one here with some room to spare. So that would be about this area here that you would have got out at. So yes, you would have left this on the table. But then again, you wouldn't have suffered through any of this. So in this trade, you're looking at 159 pips. Now you can see that even though I call it day trading, again, you could certainly take smaller profit targets just to get out at the end of the day if you'd like, or just close your trade in the day. But again, when you're looking at Forex especially, sometimes you can get on these runs. So you may enter these on an intraday basis, on a time frame that's more of a day trading type time frame, but certainly carry these as far as they're going to go. Perhaps you set alerts at these different targets to see what happens when price gets there. It's a way to do it as well. We have a flag here. This was a down move. Where is this trade? This is back on the 14th as well. So looking over here, so this one has some pain, right? 128 break is at 31.89, which will be in this area right here. Our first target is 28.62. We certainly don't get that. Price would come up against you. Now, I'm going to call this trade scratch only because you can see that when price breaks this, if you know price action, when price breaks below an area like this, and you're not getting immediate feedback. Immediate, you can, you use a rule of thumb between 3 to 5 candlesticks or bars, whatever you're using, depending on your time frame. So for this one, within 3 to 5 hours or 3 to 6 hours, you're not getting positive movement in your direction. It'd be a trade that you might want to scratch. If it's on a daily basis, maybe 3 to 5 days. Have a rule of thumb Because when these break, what do you expect to happen? You expect price to keep on going if it's a valid setup. But if you look right here, we're just ranging in this price here. You get the range up here, but this is the overall range. Let me just draw a line here. So this is the overall range. Price breaks up, but it pulls right back inside. So what would happen is this is just a range expansion when price pulls back in. I'm not saying you would not take this trade. What I'm just saying is keep in mind, look at the price that's happening here. We're a range. So if you were in this trade and you saw it break and we're not getting follow through, you look down here and say, you know what, we are still in a trading range. Maybe it's time to get up. So you would get in, the break of this. Price pulls back against you. You got your break even there. Price does break down, but it gets immediately rejected. So here you might sit through that and say, you know what, just a breakout pullback. Totally legitimate way to trade. Makes sense. Price breaks down, but then gets recovered quickly. That might be a trade that you may be sitting aside on. So, you might have got out a scratch. You may have, when price started stalling here at the former support area, the support area here, you might have tightened your stop. So I don't know how you would have managed it. You certainly want to have that in your trading plan. But we can go scratch. We can go -10. Doesn't really matter. Euro CAD hourly. We were upside, pattern flag. Obviously, this is a bull flag. Here's your break. This happened on the 13th. And this trade is in at 58.64. And we get as high as 61.40. So we would get out. Let's pick target 1. It does go a little bit higher than this target. And the trade obviously is still on. But again, you get hard slams against you. You want to be very careful of holding on to these positions. So you're looking on this trade here, which breaks really, really nice. And if I go back to the other chart that we talked about just a second ago when the price broke and didn't really go anywhere, these are the kind of moves you really want to see. So this trade here is 257 pips to peak. Well, not even to peak. The peak is 61.40. We would have got out 20 pips earlier before this price broke back down. So and he's got some emerging patterns down here. So you can certainly use Forex Trendy for shorter time frames, and it's no different when you're using the larger time frames. You're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to get the breaks. You're going to have your targets. You're going to have trend direction. It's all there. So click below, sign up, become a member, try it out. As you can see here, your membership was was paid for pretty quickly. Anyways, thanks for watching.